Brad, congratulations on the
Thank you.
deal, first of all. How pleased are you to get that done?
I'm extremely happy for myself and my family situation. Know what we're doing for the next 12 months. I'm really grateful for my family as well. They've probably put their whole life, or based their whole life around my career, and in particular my wife. And then my daughter's going to take 12 months off. She's just finishing her HSC, and she's going to take 12 months as it stands at the moment off uni to come over here and support my decision to stay. So yeah, I'm really grateful to the family sacrifices they've made, and then I'm excited for the club and for the team, and they made my decision very easy, the players in particular, and what they've shown me with their buy-in, their willingness to want to get better. They've given me a bit of spring in my step, around coaching again. So, I'm really grateful to those guys. And then also everyone at the club has just made the decision easy. Everyone's made the transition from the time I got here very smooth. A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into making me feel welcome.
You obviously came over initially on that sort of short-term contract, and the club have been patient with you. Was there a point at which you decided, that I want to stay here, or has it been more gradual than that?
It's probably just been gradual, and the early games from the players and the buy-in was good, but it was always going to be, the real test was going to be, can they continue to want to do it every week? And they have been, and the feedback I've been getting from them around, being pretty firm with them as a team and individuals, and they're seeming to buy into it and crying out for that type of approach, which is my style. I like to do it that way. And then, like I said, everyone at the club, from the guys at AMT, Neil taking me out to a game of soccer, and Gary's been driving me around looking at the different sites of England, and Paul's had us over for a family barbecue there with all the players. Even Lee from Oxford explained to me about his involvement with the club. So everyone's bent over backwards to make sure I want to stay.
How much has that been a factor then? Not just the job and the club, but the lifestyle, because obviously it is a big thing moving.
Yeah, well, it's different. Like living in Australia, and I love my job there, and the different sort of expectations went with it. Around, you're sort of in the spotlight a lot more. Probably, for the last lot of my career at Parramatta, go to work, go home, go to work, go home. Didn't really do much outside of that. Didn't really go out much. Or sort of get out in the public that much. You always sort of constantly in everyone's sight. So a bit different here. But I'm not putting the slippers on. I come here to work hard, and I've got a job to do. But there is some added benefits, in particular probably for my family. They'll get to do more of it than I will. But I went to yesterday. I spent half a day. We just travelled down to York to have a look around. So expanding on my culture as well.
Looking ahead to next year, then, how much, now that you're definitely going to be here, does that work intensify when it comes to building the squad and building those plans?
Yep. I've already had been doing some rough penciling in on around pre-season and the days and what it'll look like. We've still got a big job to do for the rest of this year, so I don't want to be careful that we're not taking our eyes off the picture right now. But you asked the question, and we're going to put some time into making sure we get pre-season right. Train hard, train long. They're going to learn to be resilient. And we need to make sure we just put some tidy up some of the things that we do around the place, and then with our squad we can probably look to try and just have a couple of adjustments to the roster. We've just strengthened the roster with a couple of spots have opened up, so we'll be looking at trying to make the roster as strong as we can.
Have you got irons in the fire?
There's a lot of people, a lot of players, a lot of their managers have got interested in players coming to this club because of how big a club it is and how good a club it is. So we're not going to have any shortage of people wanting to come. It's just making sure that we're patient and we we get exactly what we need to help the squad moving forward.
Another bit of news this week, Brad. James Donaldson's announced that he's stepping away from the full-time game in the Rhinos. I know you've not worked with him for long, but what sort of impression has he left on you in the time you have worked with him?
He's definitely someone I was looking forward to coaching moving forward, but I get his position around, he's got to put his family first, and he's got to look after himself moving forward past rugby league with he's got a steady job and he needs a steady income, but he's the type of person that this club to me seems to be built around, blokes that are loyal, effort type base players, work hard, and they're the guys that I really enjoy coaching, because they're no nonsense, can have a honest conversation with them and they take it the right way, and it's all about them getting better. And he's a real liked player of the squad, which is important. So he's going to be a loss to the squad, but again for like his family getting his family getting back and full time now.
Looking ahead to tomorrow then, squad-wise, Brodie Cross back in. Just first of all, is he all okay?
Yeah, he trained good. Look, you can't plan for these tragedies in your life, and he had to put his family first, and we're all supportive of that. But he'll be handy to have back in, and giving him an opportunity to freshen up a bit too. So, I already told him that we'll be expecting a big game from him.
Just out of interest, how did you think Jackson Field went in his place against Warrington?
No, he went good. He tried really hard. He probably got a couple of things wrong here or there early in the game just because he was trying so hard, but he'd much rather a young fella go after the game than stand back and wait for it to unfold. Like he went after it, and he'd done a lot of good things, and his effort was really good. His physicality was really good.
Ash Handler's out for the rest of the season. How big of a blow is that?
Yeah, it's disappointing for Ash and the team and our fans, but it's the best thing for him moving forward. And it was really good that he managed to get himself out there and play for us again last week. And you could see how good a game he had with that hand, and he's catching the ball in one hand. He went up for that crossfield kick and he caught it, but he just didn't have the strength or the movement in his hand to try and reach out and score a try for us. And that could have been a big turning point for us in the game. But we're just extremely proud of him for putting his teammates and his club first, and playing at only half of his capacity. And once he gets himself right, he's important for us moving forward next year.
And just finally from me, what's your read on Catalans at the minute?
Well, they're going to be desperate, and most this time of the year, most teams are, and that are still in contention and fighting hard. And they played a lot of footy, so we're going to have to be really good defensively and make sure that we've got a connected line, when we're working together, because if you go to sleep, they got, their spines all runners. They'll kick on any tackle, they'll play on any tackle, so it's going to be a good test for us to keep working for each other in defence. Thank you.
Is there much scope to strengthen the squad for next season, or change the squad for next season?
It's not about changing, because we've got a good squad. We just need to, with these sort of things, you're always looking to strengthen your squad and get better. And we have a couple of guys, leaving for whatever reasons. So it's opened up a couple of spots. And me and Ian are working through it, and we've got to make sure that any decision we make is, it's good for the short term, but it's also for the long term. And getting the right people in. And, we don't need a lot, just need a couple of players to strengthen our roster.
So it's not a case of people that are currently under contract will be leaving?
No, all the guys here that are under contract at the moment are pretty keen on staying, unless that changes. But it's just, with a couple of guys that have left, that's opened up a couple of spots.
Have you had a chance to look at the youth coming through, watch the academy or the reserves? Or
we've been watching them, seen a training session with them, and there's some good young fellas there. They need a bit of time, and I'm looking forward to doing some work with them in the pre-season. But they're probably 12, 18 months away.
But you think there's some good talent?
There's some good talent. We just need to make sure that what we've got in the top 30s, can do the job each week, and then at some stage, if you get injuries or a bit short on troops. There might be an opportunity for a couple of those young guys to get a run, and you need to make sure that your squad is going well and that they're coming in around good players that are owning their jobs to make their transition easier.
The Rhinos press release about your new contract said that you're looking to continue talks over the future beyond that. Is that the case?
Look, the club. There's many reasons why I want to stay, and another reason and why I decided to stay was because the club's been honest with me. I've been with them the whole way through, and we've just been in open communication. That's the best way. That's my policy, and I just try and be up front. Doesn't always mean that it works out, but both parties have known where we stood, and I was originally coming for 10 weeks. But we're always discussing the possibility of me staying longer. I would like to be able to look everyone in the eye and commit to longer, but I'm not going to make a promise I can't keep. Doesn't mean I can't stay moving forward. We've already stayed past 10 weeks, but the club's happy with that. And while we've got one eye on the future, we've got two eyes right on what's important right now. And this club needs to be playing finals. And we're trying to do our best this year, but that needs to be the priority. What happens next year around making sure that we improve the squad, we're improved as a team and a club, and that's where the clubs put their priorities into is making sure of that.
You got Mrs. Arthur's seal of approval then for Leeds and the city and everything.
Michelle, look, I always said she's done it for the last 12, 13 years of our life, and she's got a good life out of it too. She knows that football is our life, and I knew once she got here, I'd already talked to her about it before, so it was just a matter of making sure she was here and was part of the decision. I didn't make the decision before she got here. But yeah, she likes it. We like where we live, and like I said, the club's gone out of their way to make her transition the same as my transition, nice and smooth, and feel like we're wanted and welcome.
And you've said all along a big thing is you wanted to be able to make a difference, and you clearly think that.
I think I can, yeah. Then I think any coach can. The players got to want it, want that. It's not about me, and it's not I'm the difference. Is the players need to buy into it, and at the moment they are, and that's was always going to be the key, making sure that they kept buying into it. We're in for a tough pre-season, but I think they're ready for it.
And we'll be working with the existing coaching staff, Chev?
Look, all the staff here at the moment have done a great job, and the priority was getting our heads around this week and making sure that we get the team prepared, and then over the next couple of weeks we'll have to go through all that and work out what it looks like, everyone's roles and responsibilities, and making sure that we've got the best staff available to educate and work with our players moving forward.
Thanks, Greg.
Will part of your role be succession planning for when you're no longer here?
It could be, but at the moment I haven't got a foot out of the door either, so I don't want to be planning to have someone take my spot tomorrow. But yeah, definitely part of what I've always said. When I first got here, however long I'm here for the club, I want to make sure it's in a better place than when I got here. So when I leave, I want to make sure the club's in a great place. Moving forward, the players have learnt more about professionalism, they've learnt more about their game, they've improved as players and as people. Under the leadership of Ian and Gary, the club is in good hands, and they've got the same intentions in place.
How much of a decision maker was the facilities that you've got here, and how does that compare, say, to what you were used to at Parramatta?
Well, I think the game's different. So, the facilities are of better standard in Australia, but that's to be expected. But we don't have. There's no excuses where we are and where we're training now and what we're doing in this, great stadium of why we can't be a powerhouse club, and we should be. So. The boys have got to make sure they've got the right attitude, and it doesn't always come down to who's got the shiny bells and whistles. It comes down to what grunt they've got under the bonnet, and who wants to play for their teammates and who wants to play for their club.